Please welcome to the stage Governor Pat McCrory.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Wasn't it great to see Justice Paul Newby here? Paul and I have two connections. The first is we went to high school together down the road in Jamestown at Ragsdale High School. And one of us was valedictorian of our class. I don't know why y'all are laughing at that. And the second thing is, Paul was a part of a Bible study group that I had in the governor's mansion every Wednesday at 7:30 in the morning in the governor's mansion with about 10 great individuals, including Paul Newby. So on November 7th, I think 2016, when the election results came in, and I'd already been declared the winner, and suddenly 100,000 votes came in from Durham and put me behind by 5,000 votes at a 4.6 million. It was a tough night. But guess what? The next morning at 7:30 in the governor's mansion, my Bible study was waiting for me. And it put everything in perspective. And Paul Newby and several others hugged me and they said, "Governor, you did the right thing. You fought for our values, and you fought for our state, and you fought for America. There is nothing to apologize for." And I firmly believe we as public officials not only need to fight for the American dream, but we need to fight for the next generation, not necessarily the next election, because we have enough politicians who are more worried about the next election than the next generation. And I'm proud of what I did as governor of this great state. So during the past 4 years, I've been sitting on the sidelines, watching with disgust the attack on the American dream, especially when I watch Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi do things that are going to wreck our country, not just for us today, but for future generations. The American dream is what we need to fight for. Let me give you an example of some things that made me make the decision to get off the sidelines and run for the U.S. Senate. The first thing was this. When Washington decided to pay more people not to work than to work, we're in trouble as a nation. I mean, we have help wanted signs everywhere in this state, and we can't find workers, even 17 and 18-year-olds. And it's 17 and 18-year-olds, like when I was 17 in Jamestown, North Carolina, I worked to get an entry point into a company. I read meters for Duke Power Company at age 17. They were impressed with that when I graduated from college. Not my grades, but I read meters for Duke Power Company for $1.65 an hour. That got me in the door because it showed I had a responsibility. I had a work ethic, and I was willing to be bit by dogs, which I was. But we're paying people more not to work than to work. That is socialism. Now, I want to remind you, when I was governor of North Carolina, my third month in office, we had the fourth highest unemployment rate in the United States of America, North Carolina. You maybe have forgotten that. That's what I inherited as governor in 2013. We had the fourth highest unemployment rate in the United States of America. So what did I do? I started asking employers, what's the problem? He says, we've got job openings, but no one's coming to work. And I said, why? He says, because we have the fourth highest unemployment compensation in the country, and they're making more money on unemployment than coming to our entry-level jobs. So I said, you know what we might do? We might reduce unemployment compensation to what Tennessee, Virginia, and South Carolina are paying. Common sense. It took a Ragsdale High School graduate to figure this out. 3 months later, 3 months of protests, Reverend Barbara, thousands of Moral Monday protests, death threats. Guess what happened? North Carolina had the largest drop in unemployment in the United States of America. We got North Carolina back to work. So when I saw the federal government, both Republicans and Democrats, say we're going to even increase unemployment, I went, this is not the American dream. And I have experience in knowing the results of what's going to happen. And I know what the results were going to be. We all of a sudden can't find workers and we have inflation. Washington is broken and we need North Carolina solutions. That's why I'm running for the U.S. Senate and getting off the sidelines. Yeah, I'll have some protesters. I'll have Reverend Barber and others yell at me and scream and Moral Mondays. But guess what? It's the moral thing to do. I'll tell you another thing that made me get off the sidelines is that I'm seeing the law being broken and not enforced by the President of the United States. And by many mayors and many governors. You know, when Antifa came to Charlotte, North Carolina 2 weeks before my election and tried to destroy Charlotte, where I was mayor for 14 years, I noticed that about 50 to 60 of these people were not peacefully protesting like our Constitution allows. They were destroying, they were anarchists. And they were assaulting our police officers and trying to take down City Hall and the police headquarters. So what did I do against the objections of our president at the time? The objections of the mayor of Charlotte, the liberal mayor of Charlotte at the time? I brought in the National Guard with no hesitation. The riot ended. I'll be the only U.S. senator that I know of at Capitol Hill who actually knows how to call the National Guard and how it works. I'll tell you another thing I see. When I see people streaming across the border, that's law and order right there. We have laws on the book where the executive branch, I come from the executive branch, you swear an oath to God in the Constitution, uphold the laws of the United States of America. The laws say we enforce immigration laws. We do it at the airport, right? Charlotte Douglas International Airport. Can you imagine if all these people just got off the plane and ran through customs? The outroar? Don't check their food, don't check for drugs, don't check for human trafficking. Can you imagine the uproar? Well, we're doing it at the southern border right now. So if any part of the system is broken, the entire system is broken. We cannot have a breakdown in law and order. And I'm willing to say that. This is dangerous because as governor, I know we got cartel activity up and down I-95, 85, 26, 77, I-40, human trafficking, drug trafficking, serious criminal activity. And I know it's increasing as the cartels are becoming richer and more powerful in this state, in this nation. This is not just a southern border problem. This is a North Carolina problem. And I get it. This is not the American dream. I want the American dream for new immigrants. I want the American. We're all immigrants. I'm for immigration. I want the American dream. Absolutely. Let me tell you another thing. I've got a whole list, but I got 1 minute and 11 seconds to go. What got me off the... And I'm not going over my time. I'm a man of God. And I want to be defined as a man of God. I don't want to be defined any other way. I don't want to be defined by my skin color. I don't want to be defined by my gender or my age or anything else. This identity politics has got to end in our country, on our universities and our corporate suites. The strength of our nation is the melting pot of America. The cultural differences, the languages, the religions. It's the strength of our country. But if we balkanize our country, we're going to be promoting violence in the future. Don't separate us, bring us together. That's what I'm going to be fighting for in Washington, D.C. It's an honor to be here. God bless each one of you. We live in the greatest nation in the world. Don't forget it. God bless you. Save the American dream. Thank you. Thank you very much.